This seems as good a place as any to make camp.
Be with him in a moment.
I have not seen that before. Go on, chat. What should we say? I've been in this camp now 3 times at this stage, and I've never seen this before. Well, you are a wizard. Yes, so was my other character. Never saw that, though. Why are you studying your own mirror image?
Indulging in a spot of vanity. Handsome devil, aren't I? Be that as it may. Ceramorphosis. What does it make you think of?
First and foremost, the damn tadpole. Until quite recently, nothing at all. If you're about to start a lecture, I'm not interested. Which one? First and foremost, the damn tadpole. Oh, notes. Never mind, called that one a bit too early. Possibly. Okay, now it's stabilised. First and foremost, the damn tadpole.
Spot on. Day 1, fever and memory loss. Day 2, hallucinations and greying skin. Day 3, hair loss and blood leaking from all orifices. Need to go on? My point is this. Our orifices remain blissfully unblooded, our heads remain clear, and our blood temperature normal. Any expert will agree this is abnormal.
Long live the abnormal. Can you explain why the symptoms aren't showing and what makes you the expert? Keep forgetting the main character has a voice. Yeah, that's been one of the criticisms I've seen levelled at the game, is that sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. I think that's mostly just because the main character's voice work hasn't been completed, because they're probably doing it in more than just 2 voices. Can you explain why the symptoms aren't showing?
That, alas, is where my knowledge fails me. A rogue might call it luck, a priest might call it fate. As for myself, I'm a pragmatic. I see the silence before the storm. Something to sleep on. We should get some rest.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around every member of the party. I'm just going to dismiss them from the party, and then we're going to talk to them individually and see what they will think, and then once we've done that, we're going to decide who our 3 companions will be. Now, bearing in mind, this does kind of work similarly to Divinity Original Sin, where these choices are going to be fairly lasting. I don't think that they're necessarily in this area, so in Chapter 1 I think you can fairly freely change your party members. So next time we rest we can probably tweak it. But it's not just going to be on party composition, it's also going to be on personality. Do you have to prepare spells before resting? No. In this you can change at any time, except not in combat. The main thing is having the spell slots. Now, why is this thing not going away? If I open another screen. Nope. Because clicking again just opens another screen. Hang on, I'm going to save and reload. Because that thing's annoying me now. I clicked the crown thing, didn't do anything. I'm Mordred, YouTube fan of yours. I've recently discovered the Prussian series on Victoria 2. Loving it, but unfortunately I'm almost at the end. I think that's the only Victoria series I did. I think it is. I have streamed it once or twice, but not recently. Alright, it's gone. Good. So, talking to everyone who's actually in the party, like you.
How do you feel?
Oh, okay. Fine, much better than I thought I would, given the circumstances. Honestly, more than a bit frightened, or I don't know. How do you feel? Did the Knights for a short time as well. Oh yeah, that's true. And actually, March of the Vikings was Victoria. That was an interesting game. Vikings in China. Constant rebellions. How am I building my wizard with magic? Fine, much better than I thought I would, given the circumstances. More seriously, though, heavy armour. That's the only thing that I've really given consideration of. We're an evoker in heavy armour. Or we will be once we actually get the feat and the armour.
Yes, me as well. Besides the occasional mental exchange, it's almost as if we're not infected. I feel good. It's so strange. Do you remember the voice aboard the ship?
It's been hard to forget, or what do you mean? I'll try not to dwell on it, but thank you for reminding me. This is really... Have we rested before? Because I don't remember any of these interactions from my other times camping in my single player. It's been hard to forget.
Yes. Almost like it's whispering to me still. The voice said I'd become a beautiful weapon. What do you think that means?
I don't know, but Halsin might if we can find him. Sounded like he had plans for us. Who knows? Could have been a hallucination. I'm just glad we're still alive. Maybe it's a compliment. Maybe it's based on exactly when you rest, like the exact quest you completed before resting. I mean, this is basically where I am in my single-player game. The only thing which is done a little bit differently is I've gone to the ruins in this, but only just entered. We haven't actually seen anything in the ruins. Maybe it's just a compliment.
Ha! Adorable. But your timing is awful. Whatever the Mind Flayer's plans were, those dragons spoiled them. That doesn't make our situation less dangerous. Either way, we can't take the lack of symptoms for granted. We have to find a healer. Well, I've said my piece. Get some rest.
Right you are then. Now, Shadowheart.
What?
What? Gonna need you to leave.
If you're sure.
I'm sure.
Fine. I'll be here whenever you rediscover your taste in company.
Then we need to go and talk to Gale, get rid of him.
How can I help? I question the wisdom of that decision, but so be it. I'll be here in the meantime, idling away the hours.
And then I need to go and find Astarion.
I saw our Gith friend inspecting you. I have to say, I thought you'd look worse, but no. Not a tentacle to be seen.
Have we rested before? I honestly can't remember. Because this is all feeling like the second camp. I'm pretty sure this is still the first, though. I have to say, I thought you'd look a lot worse, but no, not a tentacle to be seen. That's what everyone's saying. Is it so strange? I'm hoping it'll stay that way. Not yet. Could say the same for you. Love the Twitch overlay in the game, it's very cool. Yeah, it's definitely one of my favourite features about this. I really hope that we see more games doing the overlays in the future. Don't like having an extra wizard in the party. Well, we'll be deciding that in a minute, Colinus. Still trying to decide exactly how, but that is what we'll be doing next. Could say the same for you.
Indeed you could. We're all doing surprisingly well, given the circumstances. I'm not taking anything for granted, of course. First sign of change, and I'll have to stop that pretty little heart of yours. I am open to suggestions. Knives, poison, strangulation, whatever you'd prefer.
I'd prefer not to die. A knife? That seems quick. Poison. Sounds painless. Try it and I'll spill your guts. Not sure. How would you like to go? Not sure. How would you like to go?
Don't be
Oh,
so
shoot.
big-headed. I'm being practical.
Wrong
How
option.
much damage will you cause if you transform? How much blood can you bear to have on your hands?
My bad. Sorry. I chose that. I'd say, try it and I'll spill your guts. How much damage will you cause if you transform? How much blood will you have in your hands? I can bear a lot. If I had to choose, I'd want a knife. Make it quick. Poison then. Or if I die, I'll take you with me. I'm really sorry about that. That was just the wrong option. I should be clicking on these, not using the keyboard. Remember, you vote with the vote poll in the interactive bit. Well, we are not being very nice to the rogue. In fact, hang on. This is just wrong. How far back is this? This is right at the start, isn't it? Damn. Oh well. If I die, I'll take you with me.
I do like you, you know. You've got fire.
You approved of
Whatever
that.
happens, I'll make the right choice. Sweet dreams, darling.
Fair enough. And then we also need to dismiss you.
You again.
Stay in camp.
Oh, darling, I'm hurt. I thought we had something special. I guess I'll spend my evenings lounging here while you do all the hard work. It sounds awful.
Spoilers. Right, that's another good point. I need to put no spoilers in the title. Okay, so those are the choices. There are precisely 5 of them, which is great because a Twitch poll allows for 5 options. So what I think I'm going to do is take the top 3. So I'm going to vote. I'm going to make a vote saying which companion would you like to see in the party, and the top 3 of the 5 will be our companions. So vote for the one that you are most interested in, or you could play a little bit more tactically if you think it's not necessarily going to be the most popular, the one you want to see tactically most in the party. So you're going to need to do a little bit of scheming and strategizing on your own. So I'm going to set up the poll. You guys can talk amongst yourselves while I do that. And start thinking about what you would like, who you would like, why you like them, etc. Of course, this is going to require me to actually remember their name. So Shadowheart. Oops. Then we've got Will. Then we've got Gale. And Astarion. And Zell. Going to make this a full 2-minute vote. so you can get your talking in. Oh yeah, those are the 5. Before we do the vote, I had actually meant to talk to them all properly, so you can get a bit more of an idea about their personalities.
What do you want?
What do you think's happened to us so far? We should get to know each other a little more. What do you think's happened so far?
We've been through quite a lot, with likely more to come. Care to narrow it down a little?
You must have thoughts about the little stowaways. What will you do if we actually manage to remove the tadpoles? How do you think we should proceed? How am I holding up in your estimations? What do you think of the Druid Grove? Turn to other matters. So let's just go with number 1, because I think we can run through all of these. What do you think about our little stowaways?
Must I? Thinking about it won't help. We know what to do, so let's do it. Find a way to rid ourselves of these things. I'm not too hopeful that a Gith crash will actually prove our salvation, but worth keeping in mind.
Volume needs to go up a bit. I can do that. No, I can't. It's already on maximum. What I can do is I can increase master volume to 80 and drop the music down to 60. And the cinematic volume can stay up, say, 80. We'll try that. What will you do if we manage to remove the tadpoles?
We go our separate ways, of course. What else? The ties that bind would be well and truly severed.
Where would you go?
If you must know, Baldur's Gate. And before you ask, no. I'm not telling you what I'm doing there, or who I'm meeting, or anything else.
So, do we want to push her, or just move on to the next subject? What do you think? I missed the 6th party from the first Baldur's Gate. Yeah, so do I. I mean, that was one thing that I always kind of disliked, I must say, about Divinity. I never really liked any of their NPC characters. I had much more fun just playing it multiplayer with a party of friends. So I'm hoping that this changes my opinion on Larian NPCs. We'll see. Yeah, there's a massive amount of problems with the multiplayer at the moment, so I've already been talking to people. It just won't be anytime soon. You're keeping something back.
You pry too much. Any further and you'll regret it. Understand?
Yeah, I thought that might be your answer, but I thought I'd let chat choose. So how do you think we should proceed? How am I holding up in your estimations? What do you think of the Druid Grove? I mean, how you want to proceed? Pretty obvious. You want to find a healer. So how are we holding up in your estimations?
If nothing else, you can at least soak up any arrows that are loosed at us.
That's definitely turned her attitude towards us, hasn't it? Crikey. I think you pushed a bit too far there, chat. What do you think of the Druid Grove?
What's there to think about? Just a group of desperate people at each other's throats. Hardly a unique occurrence these days. Besides, the one person who might be able to help us isn't even in the grove. We should look for Halsin, not waste time poking about his abode.
Okay, so that is Shadowheart. Will,
Salutations.
what should we do next?
We sniff out the gobbo leaders and take their heads. And we free the druid housing while we're at it. If we want these brain bugs removed, he's our man. But failing that, this Gith Kresh sounds promising. If Lae'zel's telling us straight. I know, that's a pretty big if.
In single player, I think a large party of NPCs can be awkward and clunky, much more fun in multiplayer. See, single player Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 I loved, but I think part of the problem is Larian have set too difficult a task for themselves. Like animating and voicing every character. Voicing them you could probably do, but animating them all as well, especially because it's all motion captured, that's why I think their NPC game is not going to be as strong, because they're going to be limited by that. Like, there's only so much you can do in a reasonable development time frame and for a reasonable cost. So I kind of wish that all the characters were just texted out and voiced, not necessarily animated. Unless there was like an important cinematic, in which case fine, animate it. But like just these talks, not necessary. Just do the lip syncing. An unusual name, the Blade of Frontiers.
Living legend in the flesh. Slayer of spectres, killer of kobolds. The pride of Baldur's Gate.
I've never heard of you. Ha! Am I supposed to be impressed? Ah, yes, I know of your exploits. Or the esteemed Blade. Why, your reputation precedes you. What do we think? This guy is a warlock. So yes, I should say, Shadowheart is a cleric of trickery? Not actually sure which domain she is. That's hidden from you. But she is a trickery cleric. And then this guy is a Warlock of the Fiend. Ah, yes, I know your exploits.
So you know the stories. All true, I might add. Won't be long before they're telling new tales. Mind flayers, flying ships, dragon attacks. The legend grows.
Oh no, I saw the romance option. So I'm being a little bit careful about the romance stuff because I know that some of the romance things in this game can be incredibly explicit. And until I know a little bit more about where exactly those lead, I'm going to be careful with that stuff. Sorry. Like, there's only so mature that I want this channel to go. Dealing with the goblins, what's your plan? Your eye is unusual. What happened? We could turn any moment. How are you in such good spirits? Or I'd like you to join me. Oh no. Ignore 4 and 5. This is just 1, 2, and 3. Just 1, 2, or 3. Any votes for 4 and 5 I'm ignoring. Okay, your eye is unusual. What happened?
Now, I always save the best stories for my closest friends and my cruelest enemies. Get to be one of those, and I'll spill the whole jug. Hmm? You get that, right? Spill the whole jug? I guess I'll toss that one in the heap.
So, I can lean in, examine the eye more closely, or talk about something else. Let's examine it.
Tiny grooves spider across the eye's surface. It resembles a sending stone used to confer with distant contacts.
Now we can ask him, isn't your eye a sending stone, or shall we talk about something else? What do you think? Do we want to inquire and possibly push him a bit too far, like we did with Shadowheart? Or let caution play? Chat's so curious. Isn't your eye a sending stone? We're going to leave this place with all of the companions hating us.
A what now? Goodness, but it's just a bit of rock. Nothing so special, I assure you.
His breathing quickens. His jaw tenses. This legend is keeping something from you.
So, we can try to use the Illithid power, except no we can't because we already used it, I think, once before. I'm going to try the Illithid power, just because I want to know for sure, but I'm pretty sure it'll just say no.
You focus on the source of the power, but it is quiet and still. It needs to rest.
So that thing you can do once a day. So we already used it the first time we met this guy, so we weren't able to use it there again. So in the future, you will need to bear that in mind. It's a once-a-day option. Alright then, let's talk about something else. You can turn at any moment. How are you in such good spirits?
Did you see those tiefling kids? Do you reckon our moping and muttering does them much good? They should be chasing frogs, climbing trees, not training for battles they can't win. Those people look at me and they see a hero. Imagine how bad they feel if they were wrong.
Okay, so that is Will. Then we're going to go and talk to Gale.
What's on your mind?
Tell me more of yourself.
Let's see. I hail from Waterdeep, the city of splendors. I'm a wizard of considerable and scholar of exceptional accomplishment. I have a cat, a library, and a weakness for a good glass of wine. And if the mood takes me, I'm known to try my hand at poetry. There.
Okay, so, go on, or you're trying to brush me off. Do you have anything other than generalities to offer? Or change subject, if we don't want to pry. Which English accents do all the companions have? This guy is definitely estuary, so it's like my accent. Then Shadowheart's a bit harder to say. Will, I mean, they're all Southern English. They're all quite well spoken. And Astarion is like upper class, Queen's English. Like very posh, very, very posh. Yes, quite. Okay, so what are we doing? Go on. You're trying to brush me off. Do you have anything other than generalities to offer? It's a bit rude.
Certainly. That I have a great respect for privacy, for instance, especially my own.
Try peering into mind. If he won't open up, you'll sneak in. We can't do that. That's the Illithid thing. Change subject. Okay, so that is Gale. Let's go and talk to Astarion.
You again.
Tell me of yourself.
Oh, what's to tell? I'm a magistrate back in the city. It's all rather tedious.
And what's your priority right now?
And clearly the tadpole. If we can't understand it, we'll never...
Huzzah! Okay, and that's literally all he's got to say to us. He does not like us. Like, every option we have chosen so far, he's been against. So is Shadowheart, I should mention. Not as bad as Astarion, though. One or two other things which are more good, Shadowheart has liked, but like every single good option, Astarion's been against. Wilhelm von der Beck, thank you very much for the 22-month free subscription. Very much appreciate the ongoing support there. Coming in with a tier 2 as well. So thank you very, very much for that. 22 months and still loving the content. I'm really pleased to hear that, thank you. This guy reminds me of Quentin Crisp. He reminds me of Percy Blakeney. The Scarlet Pimpernel, without the good bits. Probably. I mean, he might be a hidden personality, you never know. Alright, Lae'zel, what you got for me?
Abominations grow inside us. Our bones should ache. Our mouths should bleed. Yet we thrive. It is madness. Keep your rest short. Time is not our ally.
Okay, she did not have a lot to say. That was just her timey thing. She does have more to say.
Great talent or not, no druid can cleanse an embedded tadpole. Give no credence to such fantasy.
Are you sure the crash is our only path to a cure? You look so unusual. Githyanki are rare in these parts. How do you know so much about mind flayers? I mean, we can do all three of these. So, are you sure your crash is the only path to a cure?
Entirely. I was as devoted to my studies as I was to my training. To all questions, the Kalir Library harbours answers. A gift from Vlaakith herself, that we may gain total understanding.
That kind of wisdom is very valuable. Books are valuable, as are those who write them, or total understanding. What absolute nonsense! What do you think? What should we say? Wizard reminds me of Dragon Age 3, Dorian from Dragon Age 3. Yeah, I can see that. I'm not going to say who my favourites are, because that might swing the poll when we do it. And we'll do it once we finish speaking to Lae'zel. That kind of wisdom is very valuable.
Countless scholars roam the astral sea and beyond, observing the ways of our lessers, Exploring planes so distant, order turns to chaos, and cold fires rage. The plains are ever quaking, and their peoples ever shifting. The Githyanki possess an eternity of knowledge. Yet we still collect more. Infinities upon infinities.
You look so unusual. Githyanki are rare in these parts.
I expect I am your first.
Never heard of your kind until my capture. I know of Githyanki, but I've never met one. I've crossed paths with Githyanki before. I'm going to go with the second one because we are a wizard. We're fairly well knowledgeable.
Of course you haven't. They would have cut you from navel to neck. You are no less alien to me than I am to you. I know of your kind, but I do not often encounter them. That large, fleshy nose of yours looks like a mistake.
Come on now, it's not that large. As if your upturned bat snout is any better. Really? Thanks for noticing. Or just stay silent in the face of our goading.